Hey guys, what's going on? It's Luke. Hopefully you guys had good weekends. I'm just gonna get right into it. So I think I'm not too quite sure what Dr. Tao was asking for this first question, or the second one, about the regardless of what is right or wrong, what were they thinking? That is, what do they get rather than do not. So I'm just gonna kind of avoid that one. But I think alternative ideas this week we were talking about in genetics. How do you map specifically, certain codes for things along your chromosome, and mathematically, how do you find those things? And so it's a really hard topic, and a lot of people struggle with it. And so this week in our help session, Kimberly and I just decided that we were going to host like a not like a secondary lecture, but we asked kind of what everyone was having problems with, and just kind of went with that. And I think it really helped. I mean, we've done that in the past, but I think for this material in particular, it was really helpful. As far as some things that I'm glad for, this week I was helping a student with their graded homework that they do, their online homework, and I'm glad and upset at the same time because I was helping her through this problem, and we were on the right track. And it was a three-part problem. The first part was true or false, and I'd looked at this problem with some of the LAs before, and it wasn't easy. And the problem is basically true or false, and you're supposed to catch this one word. It was from all to some. And just like every true or false, there's those words where you never want to say all, always, sometimes, and so what do you do? And so I talked it through with her. She ended up answering true, and it was false. And I just remember, the look on her face of how upset she was that we worked on it together and got it wrong. And I think this is just a point to say that, obviously, and I think Dr. Talbot talked about this a lot last week, is that we're not perfect. Even though we know a little bit more than they do in the topics in that class subject, we're still not experts. And so I'm glad that happened, because it's made me realize that, when it comes to graded homework like that, I don't have any part in that, and I don't want to have any more part in that. On an average during a week, it's probably 10 questions, and 5 of those are graded. And so from here on out, I might give suggestions, but I'm not going to help anymore on the questions that are graded specifically. Just because, that's not my responsibility, and I don't want to take that responsibility. I don't want to take that burden either. So I'm glad that it was kind of a good and a bad thing. And so I'm looking forward to this next week. It's test week, so we're going to do extended hours on Wednesday and Thursday, the day of the test. And so we'll see kind of who's coming and how many people are going to be showing up. It'll be interesting to see. But any other, we're talking about, I think the first question was alternative ideas that some students are having about one certain, subject that happened this week in our LA session as well. When we were giving like the mini lecture, we were asking them certain questions and trying to draw out some discussion about it. And it was interesting to see that, you're talking about one specific subject or one topic, and we probably had 5 or 6 or 7 people sitting around a table, and they all have, not all of them, but there's many different pieces that are coming together to try to figure this out. So I thought that was pretty neat. I like doing it. I like that setup where it's we figure out what everyone's kind of having problems with, and then we'll work on it all as one, because that's how Dr. Bernard wants the class to be anyway. Where they're given a problem, and you have all your classmates working on it, or the little group that you're in. So essentially we're just kind of extending our group size to 7 or 8, instead of just yourself and then maybe the person that sits to your left and right. So I think it's been working. I don't necessarily want to hold those type of things every time, because sometimes I think you don't reach out to everyone that's there. But we'll just we'll take it one week at a time and see how it's going. So hope you guys have good weekends and the week to come, and we'll see you guys on Friday.